I'm going to do a quick sketch of the Madonna by Raphael. Let me zoom in a little. And I have about 12 minutes left on my memory card of my camera, so I try to get it into that time frame. I start with her eye. I'm using regular printer paper and an HB pencil, and I don't want to draw too rough because the paper wouldn't hold that. In my previous drawing I went through the paper even at a certain stage, and the paper started folding. So with a certain approach you need thicker paper if you get quite heavy on the hatchings and so on. So that's something to think about. But I want to keep this drawing technique light. And sometimes I have the tendency to draw more or less a sort of outline of a detail, and sometimes I just start adding hatchings. And I mainly want to focus on her facial features, her eyes, her nose and mouth. Not too much around it. So I approach it a bit minimalistic. I think this is one of the few times that I'm holding the pencil that many people advise you to hold a pencil. Which is actually quite a nice way of drawing. Nothing bad about it, but I usually hold a pencil the way it's just easiest for me to hold it. So I hold it the same way that I would hold a pencil if I'm writing something. And now I'm just adjusting and tweaking all kinds of details I actually trying to make it a little darker than this image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and make it a little darker. And work from this version. So it has more transitions, more pronounced transitions from dark to light. And I want to make the skin a little more realistic, a little darker than the white that you see now. So I'm looking at careful transitions now, especially around the eyes. I want your skin to be defined more than this. Nice definition. I'm not really hatching now, I'm just adding these kinds of tonal values. And constantly I'm looking at the paper, I'm looking at the example, and I feel I'm in sort of rhythm with my hand drawing, and continuously the eye feeds the hand, so to speak, with impressions of the example, and I just add tonal values to this drawing. I have to keep this white, but I try to get form into the nose, some definition in tonal values. And I have the tendency to not want to draw this line actually. I like to keep it at the facial features like the mouth and the eyes, but I like adding these tonal values now. I make a little more room here because I could not see what's happening here. With thin paper you need to be careful that there's nothing underneath the paper. And I like this, like you have certain parts of ancient sculptures or so, just a part of this face. I'm not saying it's really the same, but in that vein I like this, like fragment or something. Gives it this poetic effect. So there's this consideration, should I draw this, but I shouldn't make this too clear, because then you start defining too much, I think. Because when you do that, you have to get that outline there. Maybe I already did too much here. So and I'm slowly working towards finishing this drawing. And I think I leave it at this. Just a relatively quick poetic sketch, let's call it that way. Thank you for your attention.